Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And here we go on a Thursday, a beautiful Thursday down in Neptune Beach with good-looking weather. Temperature's dropping, but the weather is nice right now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show, coming to you from our Thursday home, of course. We're at Sliders Oyster Bar. Good crowd piling in here. The climate-controlled, we've got the we're on the patio, but they've got the heaters going. They feel wonderful. And they installed last year these plastic clear drop-down walls that they can really control the climate. Feels wonderful here. Certainly, we're going to sit here all afternoon from 4 to 6 and track the big football game. Yes, they are playing. They're taking a moment of silence right now as they are getting close to kicking this ball game off. Moments ago, there was a recorded speech from President Biden. I'm not sure what he said, but obviously that was a nice touch. The President of the United States giving his sympathies and prayers, I'm sure, and hoping everything goes off fine today, as well as it can today in New Orleans, as Georgia and Notre Dame are set to do battle to see who moves on to the semifinal game against Penn State. You know by now, Texas, Oklahoma, that is one semifinal set for next week. We've got 3 of the 4, and it will be either Penn State taking on Georgia or Penn State taking on Notre Dame in the other semifinal game. Guys, we've got a lot to go over with you today on the program. It'll be a packed 2 hours. Patrick Young will be joining us. I'm not sure if Patrick will be on. Patrick, there he is. He's got some work to do tonight at JU. Pat, how you doing, man?
Sorry, you got excited. Whenever you say Dolphin, I just get excited.
Yes. You're on the call tonight.
Yeah, they got Lipscomb, and Lipscomb was the preseason favorite to win it all.
So you're on the call for what? ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I mean, I think JU can definitely beat this team, but watch Lipscomb's going to probably be one of those teams that's got it. They got a star, they got a stud, but also they just execute well, and they got a bunch of guys that are just nose to the brimstone, just grind it out and play hard basketball, and that might, because JU again doesn't shoot a lot of threes, that might kill them tonight. But we'll see. It'll be fun.
Well, Patrick's doing a little double duty. You'll work on the show here, and then be set up with JU basketball. Patrick, a lot has gone down, and today's show obviously will be just about all college. We'll work in some NFL stuff here, but it'll be just about all college football. Patrick, when we went off the air Tuesday, I mean, there has been a lot of stuff happen from Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, all day yesterday. Tragedy has also struck the world we live in, unfortunately, again, and it has overlapped with the sports world. But my goodness, Patrick, where do we start? Let's go way back to, Penn State really put a physical beating on Boise State. That's a game we haven't talked about the game. Genty really, his offensive line just couldn't hold up to Penn State.
Had no chance.
Yeah, he
had no chance.
And you know, that brings me to a point. And this is one of those truth serum things I like to do. But, Patrick, you know my stance. I don't think we should waste a spot in the college football playoff on a mandatory group of 5 spot. I don't agree with I don't agree with it. I think it was wrong with Boise. Here's my overall question I want to throw out and have you comment, and I want people to think about this. That rule is still in place. That wasn't a one-time rule. I don't like it at all, but it's going to be in place next year. Patrick Young, do you think moving forward that in the future there's got to be a group of 5 representative unless they change the rule, right? Do you really think over the next couple of years, next year, the year after, do you really think the next group of 5 team is going to be better than Boise State with Ashton Genty? I don't see that happening.
Well, you know, I remember exactly who you and Brent Beard were raving about potentially going into the season as that group of 5 team, and that was the Memphis Tigers.
Yep.
And Memphis, not no man. They would have. Just imagine them being in, and Boise was not. Gosh.
I did a poor job explaining that. Let me back up and explain myself. Moving forward,
Yeah.
I would bet you $1 billion that next year's Group of Five, whoever it is, the year after, the Group of Five is not going to put anybody better than that Boise State team that we saw the other night with a Heisman candidate. With that said, that Boise State team could not compete. So are you telling me next year when Memphis goes, or are you telling me next year when Tulane goes, it's going to be absolute way. It's a terrible, terrible rule, but they get a spot. They get a spot. That's about as good as you're going to get out of the group.
As good as you're going to get. Like, who else? Who's next? Who would have been next out of that?
Yeah.
Like, who is the second-ranked Big Five, Group of Five school?
Yeah, I mean, Tulane was in the.
Just imagine.
Tulane, I think, lost their conference championship game, and then they go to play Florida.
Tulane. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, let me throw this out. Until the rules change, it may not be next year. Game 1 for the Group of Five, and they're playing whoever. They're playing Florida. They're playing Auburn. They're playing Michigan next year, and it's round 1 college football playoff, and it's Michigan versus Tulane. Why? I don't think Tulane's going to be any better than Ashton Genty's boy. Nobody, I don't think, is going to be better than Boise State with Ashton Genty. Yet we're stuck with that.
Did that game have good viewership still? I know, obviously not record breaking. I'm just curious if you knew that off the top of your head.
I would think early it might have done a decent number because there is the curiosity. Well, can he run against Penn State? And then after 3 or 4 series, you saw that it was going to be a long night. And, did they get him 100 yards? Yes. Did they feed him? His last 10 carries probably didn't even have to happen, right? Those were mercy yards. He got 104 yards on 30 carries. But Boise can't.
How y'all doing?
That was
Good to see you.
Absolute wasted spot. I think, Patrick. I definitely think it was just and it's until they change.
Do we just bump them out, man? Do we just bump out? Just forget about the Group of Five? I think that's where it's leading to. Just the power, the Power 4 schools. It's just going to be one league. It's going to be one league.
Why are they in anyway? Why did somebody? Oh,
sympathy?
Yes. It's nothing.
Sympathy?
Why are they in? Anyway, that was almost a wasted game. It really was. I thought Penn State. I thought they made it closer than it should have been. Penn State, they opened up the game, had that power running attack. They were just shoving it down their throat.
Yeah,
and then they got away from their power running. I'm like, what are you doing, Nate?
There's nothing more demasculating as a defense.
Yeah.
When you just cannot stop the run, and they're just. Yeah. You know what's coming every single play, and guess what? They don't care. They're going to keep pounding it down your throats because they know they're going to get these first downs and hold the ball.
I kind of thought that was going to be Penn State's approach. I kind of thought, you know what, if I'm Penn State, I'm going to say, wait a minute. You think you got the running back? You think you're the rushing attack? We're going to show you how to shove the ball down somebody's throat, and they did. And they really did. I thought.
You think Penn State would have learned that with how last year Michigan just did that to them? Like, I'll never forget that game. Penn State couldn't get the ball because they could not stop Michigan from running it down their throats.
They really could not.
It's got to be so frustrating because then you can't. All your coaching, all your scouting, all your game planning, you don't get to use any of that.
No.
None. It's gone. You can't get the ball.
You can't win the line of scrimmage. You can't win the line of scrimmage.
Your DBs are getting bored. The safety's got to be real bored.
I'll tell you this, man. I thought Penn State's offensive coaching staff, their play call, I thought it was miserable. I thought they made that game way closer than it needed to be. Way. Not the game was close, but they made it way. I thought I hated Penn State's approach after their second drive. I was like, what are these guys doing? Are they trying to get Penn State in? Patrick, other things that have happened since we were off the air on Tuesday, after our show on Tuesday. Wow, did Alabama Wow, I think that's one of the huge stories coming out of bowl season is what the hell's going on with Alabama. Do you realize the Crimson Tide, they are 5-4, Patrick, in their last 9 games? They opened up 4-0. And they have since gone 5-4. And Patrick, I don't think it's a fluke. I don't think Alabama has a very offensive line. They don't have Alabama-type running backs. They didn't get very good quarterback play. I think Alabama's got some issues by Alabama standards.
I'm wondering, like Jalen Milroe, man, goodness, he did not look good.
And he has.
Man, yeah, way off. I mean, you just see the frustration out of Ryan Williams. Good thing he's a freshman and he can't really complain about, wasting my year of going to the NFL draft or anything like that. But he's definitely questioning coming back. And what did Milroe? Did he transfer? Is he transferring?
I think he's just going to come out. I haven't heard him do it. I would be stunned if he takes snaps next year as the Alabama quarterback. Absolutely stunned. I've heard Britt Beard say this, and Brett Clark's that program.
Who are you going to get that's better right now?
I would.
There anyone that you can get right now that's to the level?
Well, they're going to damn sure go into the portal, and I think they've got Ty Simpson there. They've got a couple guys. You've got to hand the ball to somebody else and say, "Hey, give it a shot." Somebody else has got to give it a shot. You make a
good point because guess what? Jalen Milroe wasn't who Brian DeBoer recruited. He inherited him from Saban. So I'll rather go down on my ship with someone, especially that position with someone that I chose versus,
You brought up Ryan, the freshman receiver. Yeah. He's got to be, as they've just kicked off now. We'll keep you updated on this football game. Georgia receiving the kickoff. It's in the end zone. They'll start with a touchback. And here he comes, Gunnar Stockton out to lead Georgia. Ryan Williams, though, at Alabama, he's got to be doubly frustrated because Alabama's passing attack went backwards as the season played out. They didn't get any better. They got worse game after game after game. They could not really muster much of a passing attack. It was just the only way that they won some games was when Milroe was just a glorified running back, and that doesn't help Ryan Williams at all, the receiver. Interesting. But boy, Alabama and Patrick, I've already pointed this out. You want to talk about some heat? I would not want to be Kalen DeBoer in the booster club circuit in the offseason. That ain't going to be any fun. I'll tell you that right now. That is not going to be much fun if you're Kalen DeBoer, because he's got to go to all those towns in the state of Alabama, and they're not happy. Those Alabama fans, they're not used to 5-4 over the last 9 games. Alabama is 5-4 over the last 9 games. Georgia Notre Dame has kicked off a couple of running plays. One, a design run, was stopped for a loss, and then a little bootleg that turned into a scramble for Gunnar Stockton. That is a loss as well. So not a great start for Georgia offensively. I think Georgia's going to be fine in this game. I think once this game gets settled, Gunnar Stockton, once he gets settled, the thing that impressed me with Stockton, and I think we lost Patrick for a moment, but Zach, I'd like to get your thoughts as well. The one thing I'm fine with, a couple of things I'm fine with Gunnar Stockton. He was a big-time recruit, big-time 5-star, everybody in the country. You there, Pat?
Am I back?
Yeah, I hear you now. There
we go.
And as Georgia goes 3 and out, I don't think there was a flag down the play.
Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, and what I was saying was, I think I'm okay. Yes, there was a flag down. This may be a first down for Georgia on a pass interference against Notre Dame. The thing I think Gunnar Stockton is going to be okay. Patrick, the other night, he went in the biggest game to date for Georgia, and the moment wasn't too big for him. I thought he made great decisions. I thought he really was. He ran.
Crazy.
He ran when he should have run. He didn't run too early. I didn't think he forced the ball in his playing time. This guy was a big-time recruit, really big-time recruit. And, I think Georgia, unless he gets flustered in this game, I think they'll be okay with him at quarterback. I don't expect him to the game to Notre Dame, if you will. As Georgia, a little bit of a reverse.
I don't know, man. And something about this Notre Dame team is, this hasn't been a great Georgia team. They've been Last year's team, 30 points in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So far,
Georgia's.
You're in and out, but so far Georgia's run about 4 plays.
Anyways, I think Notre Dame is gonna surprise us, and Notre Dame will be in the championship game.
Interesting. Yep. So
Yep.
far, it has been a good start for Georgia. They've run about 4 plays. The only thing that's worked is the pass interference, as Georgia continues to try and run the ball. Gunnar Stockton with a keeper in about 5 or 6 yards. So it has not. I'll be honest with you, it hasn't been a smooth start offensively for the Dogs, as Georgia is in their red jerseys.
Not a barn burner yet?
No, not yet.
Barn burner?
A little clunky. Patrick, did you hear how this game got moved to 4 o'clock? Did you hear there was a lot of discussion about this game? Do you know any of that story? I'll tell it if you don't.
They did all that, like the process.
Yeah, well,
I'm not.
It was interesting.
I'm absolutely glad that they did.
Yeah, well, I'm actually mentioning the actual kickoff time. Instead of just moving it, at first they were just going to move it 24 hours. They were going to kick off tonight at 8:45. The scheduled time was last night at 8:45. I like what the coaches did. The word is the 2 coaches, Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame and Kirby Smart for Georgia, they went to the officials and said, look, man, we don't want this game. If it's up to us, we want to play earlier in the day. Can y'all get it done earlier in the day? And the theory was, keep in mind, Patrick, the 2 teams, when the tragedy happened, the 2 teams got sequestered in their hotel. They were told they couldn't leave, which was right. So they were, not only have they been on the road for 4 days or what have you, they got stuck in their hotel by law enforcement, which was the smart thing to do. I think Marcus Freeman and Kirby Smart thought to themselves, hey, if we're here a full other day, we've been stuck in this hotel. We don't want to wake up today being Thursday and not even have pregame meal until 4, play the game at 8:45, get home at 3 in the morning. I think that was their motivation. They said, we don't want to be stuck in the hotel all day on Thursday for an 8:45.
Another whole day, going crazy. Guys going crazy, for sure.
I thought it was smart. And, the Gator Bowl here, tip of the hat to the Gator Bowl, and they did the right thing. They agreed to go ahead and back up their kickoff because these are both ESPN games. The Gator Bowl said, we're fine. We'll go from 7:30 to 8. My
sister's going out there, man. She's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold tonight. It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold out there tonight.
Yeah, I agree. You hate to say, Patrick, that things good came from moving these games, but one good thing for the Gator Bowl, they now have a really nice lead-in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you should see a bunch of Gator Bowl commercials during this Notre Dame Georgia game. And if this stays a good game, if it's a tight game to the end, that's good for the Gator Bowl. That's you know how it's built on lead-in shows. You want a lead-in audience.
Yeah, that makes sense. They need to hire you, Terry.
Yeah. No, I guarantee you, Greg McGarity, who we had on the other day, the president of Gator Bowl, he thought of that as well. He said, hey, man, a terrible tragedy, but that should give the Gator Bowl, because keep in mind, there was nothing on tonight but the Gator Bowl, right? This game is a nice lead-in.
Right.
I mean, it's the damn biggest game in football today. Notre Dame, Georgia. Notre Dame. Did you hear my Patrick? Did you hear my point a moment ago about how about Kalen DeBoer? He's got to take his booster club tour during the offseason. That ain't going to be pretty when he goes to all these Alabama booster clubs and he rolls in having gone 5-4 his last 9 games. Ooh, that ain't going to be fun for Kalen DeBoer, is it?
Man, those are fun conversations.
Yeah.
That's not going to be put into a coach, but Alabama.
Man, I tell you, and there was already a group of Alabama fans, and it's natural, a group that says, "Hey, man, I don't know if this is the right guy. Is this the right culture fit? Is Kalen DeBoer, who is kind of a West Coast guy, is he going to really cut his chops in deep Alabama, deep south. There's already a group that said, man, I don't know if this guy's the right guy. Now he's got to go to his booster club circuit. Hey, with a 5-4 record his last 9 games. Ooh. Good luck with that, Kalen. Good luck. All right, Pat, let's take a break. It looks like Georgia will play.
Lost to unranked Oklahoma.
Yeah, lost to a bad Oklahoma team as well. Georgia punted on their first drive. There may be a flag for roughing. Yes, there is a flag down. I don't know if they're going to call it running into the Georgia punter or roughing the punter. And you know how that goes, Patrick. It'll depend. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll reset this game. The big game is on. Georgia, Notre Dame. Georgia, opening drive of the game, really did nothing with their first possession. Notre Dame waiting to get the ball. We'll track it when we come back. We've got a lot to talk about, including, my goodness, somebody woke up Ohio State. What a bludgeoning yesterday for the Buckeyes over the previously undefeated Ducks of Oregon. A lot of college football, as you can imagine. Terry Norvelle at Sliders. Patrick Young joining me. We'll talk more college ball on the other side. The Young and Norvelle Show continues from Sliders Oyster Bar.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Back we are here on a Thursday, the Young and Norvelle show coming to you from the patio right here at Sliders. What a, as we welcome Patrick Young, Terry Norvelle, and you, what a strange, chunky, clunky kind of start to this this Sugar Bowl game. Georgia goes basically 3-and-out on the first drive of the ball game, Patrick. Notre Dame commits not one, but two back-to-back running into the kicker, running into the punter. It started third. It started like 3rd and 21. Neither one of them were called roughing. They were both called running into. And Georgia finally just declined the second one. I think, and I'm piecing this together, this may be a new punter.
What was it, 4th and what?
16.
Oh, wow.
It was 3rd and 21. Anyway, back-to-back running into the kickers you don't see very often. So Notre Dame now is running their second play. They got called for an illegal touching because Notre Dame's first pass of the game was tipped back to the quarterback. I think, Patrick, there have been more penalties than yards gained here about 7 snaps into the game. It has been a weird start to this ball game and very defensive start as, looks like either they called or missed a hold on a Georgia player. All right, Pat, let's get back to some stuff we're talking about. We'll track Georgia and Notre Dame as we go. Staying with Alabama, wasn't it just yesterday that Michigan couldn't beat Ohio State? They couldn't beat Alabama would embarrass Michigan.
Right.
And I remember vividly the last 5 years, I don't know if you watch, I don't watch a lot, but I know Paul Feinbaum has had a running feud with Michigan fans. And Feinbaum spent years just ragging on how bad Michigan and how bad Harbaugh is, and Michigan can never win big, and Michigan this, and Michigan that. Well, Harbaugh finally got the best of that argument.
Yep.
And do you realize Michigan has beaten Alabama twice in less than a calendar year? I think
wow,
it is.
isn't that something?
Yeah, they beat them in the playoff last year. And, how quickly things turn.
How quickly you fall from grace.
How about this? Let's move our attention to the absolute, very, very impressive, performance last night by Ohio State.
Oh
my
man.
goodness! Here's a weird one. Let's assume for this discussion, Ohio State wins their next 2 games and they win the national title. I will ask myself if that happens, did the loss to Michigan wake up the sleeping giant? If Ohio State had not lost to Michigan, would they potentially win this national title? Pat, I'm not so sure the Michigan loss didn't help them.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair. Because that, everyone knows how much that game means to both of those teams. And sometimes I guess you need a little fire under your butt as a coach and as a team. But they played in that game, they played so bad. It's like Michigan had out of bounds. Yeah, gosh, that was such a crazy reality we are in now. That just shows how hard it is to maintain being great, man. A name doesn't mean anything.
It really does. It really does. And Alabama, if they're coming back to the pack, and I think they are. I think there's more than just a quick rebuild. I mean, they're not going to go 6-6 next year, but I think Alabama's coming back to the pack, and that's a hell of a run, man.
For sure. I really did want someone not Ohio State before to win. Or someone just kind of newish, different, but never Ohio State. And I hate to say it, but yeah,
here's something, Patrick. Though Zach and I were talking before the show, when you are as good as Alabama football has been, and throw Georgia in there as well, when you're at that level, you can't get much better, but you can certainly drop. You're not going to get much better. So it's kind of inevitable it happens. This is the Ohio State team everybody thought we were going to see. I mean, they are, from a raw talent standpoint, Patrick, I don't think anybody can match them with raw talent. And
their freshman receiver was insane last that game.
You know, he was called the best player coming out of high school, regardless of position, Jeremiah Smith, and he's living up to it.
Yeah, that kid.
I'll tell you another thing.
Gets the ball.
And I think Texas has what I'm going to say, but you better have a big physical secondary to run with Ohio State. Smith is not their only big-time receiver. They've got 3 or 4 big-time receivers. You better have – and Patrick, you can't have a bunch of guys that are 5'10". You better have some big cornerbacks and safeties back there to run with.
Oh, yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
You better. Boy, they looked good, though, didn't they? My goodness, they looked good yesterday. And Will Howard played well. I think Will Howard, their quarterback, has hurt them most of the year. He's figuring it out a little bit here late.
He's played well, man. He's figured it out. He played really well yesterday. That was not the Will Howard I expected to see.
No. What about the second half turned in by Scooby-Doo yesterday? Scooby-Doo, the running back for Arizona State.
He can't resist it.
What about the second half? I mean,
he can't resist calling him Scooby-Doo.
I love it. Hey, they bottled him up, and they punished him that game.
They got him pretty good for a while.
They bludgeoned him, and he just kept coming back, didn't he?
Oh man, he just got that toughness, man. Like he's gonna play. Like wasn't he vomiting on the sideline? Yeah,
definitely. What about the no call? The no call on the targeting. I thought it was targeting. I thought it was targeting.
I'm sure everyone in the country thought it was targeting. Even though, it went to his helmet, but that's a dangerous hit, man.
The word is they thought it was face mask to face mask, but man, I still think that isn't that in the stay away from the zone.
Like if you lead with your elbow and hit them in the,
I kind of thought that too. I kind of thought that too. Isn't that the stay away from zone?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
it's hard, man, when they're you got two guys going to 1 point and they're going that fast, man.
Yeah. Now you know me. I don't blame one. I don't ever blame one call for a game. There's 150 plays. But no, I thought that was the wrong call from what I've been taught watching football and hearing explanations the last 20 years we've been in this targeting rule. I thought it was the wrong. I thought it should have been called. I thought it should have been called. Hey Pat, I will say this.
I wonder because they kind of got that call kind of quick, so that means that was replay elsewhere.
Yeah.
That made that final call.
I've never been a big Quinn Ewers guy. I've never seen him. I think he's an average player right now. I don't know what his ceiling is. I've kind of put Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck. To me, they're kind of the same guy. I think they're both kind of blocky and kind of clunky. But I will say this, and I think I've got this right, Pat. I don't know if I've ever seen this. In that ball game that went from regulation into overtime, you got to tip your hat to Quinn Ewers. I think, and you can look this up in the box score, he had 3 consecutive passes that were scoring passes, and that's hard to do.
Oh, wow, that's cool. 3 consecutive passes that were scoring passes?
He had touchdown. The next time they touched the ball, first play touchdown, and they had to go for 2, and he threw a 2-point conversion. So he had scoring pass, scoring pass, scoring. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I've never heard that before.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to look up Jalen Milroe for us real quick.
Okay, what are you looking up? See if he's coming back?
Yeah, he was supposed to make an announcement. Yeah, he's going to the NFL.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't coming back to Georgia.
They got him as the number 3 quarterback prospect.
I'll have to see that, man. Now,
Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, Jackson Dart, Kyle McCord, Curtis Rourke, Riley Leonard, Will Howard. Shoot, man, Will Howard could potentially play his way up. Dang, this guy's is good. It's not great. It's okay.
Yeah. Did you see where was it Todd McShay? He absolutely blasted Carson Beck's decision to come out. Thinks he's nowhere near ready.
Who did that?
Nowhere near ready. Todd McShay, the draft analyst guy.
Todd McShay.
On Carson Beck.
I've never heard him come out and say something like that on a player.
Yes, but supposedly absolutely blasted. Hey Pat, I trust that you watched a lot of the Ohio State game last night.
Yes.
Okay. And I trust that you are up on your modern comedians. Do you know most of the modern comedians? I know a few of them. Do you know the modern comedian?
The modern comedian?
You know, some of the comedians that are hot right now.
Yeah, I know a few.
All right, Zach Rothrock. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you know the modern comedians? You know, kind of the hot guys that are out there.
Who specifically?
Well, I'm going to tell you here in a
Tom
second.
Segura.
Did you guys?
Bill Burr, Whitney Cummings.
Yeah. There you go. Who's the blonde girl that's kind of dirty?
Is that Whitney Cummings?
Not Whitney Cummings. Nikki
Glaser. Glaser.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all are up on your comedians, right? I don't think you've mentioned the one, but I know I'm not the only guy last night that was surprised. Watching the Ohio State game, and the camera, they cut to the worst shot in all of sports, but they cut to it a million times. The coach's box. There's nothing worse than the shot of the coach's box. I did not know that Nate Bargatze, the comedian Nate Bargatze. He's on the I didn't know he's on the Ohio State coaching staff. Did you see the guy in the booth, the coaching booth? It had to be Nate Bargatze. It looked just like. I know I'm not the only guy that
you should have texted when you saw it. I definitely would have, because he
you know him.
Yeah, I saw several people say that the guy looked like him. Yeah, for sure.
Y'all saw that? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're not alone on this. You're not alone on this comparison.
I posted that this morning on Facebook. I said, who knew Nate Bargatze is an assistant coach for Ohio State? Dude, look just like him.
Wow.
Look just like him. Do you know Nate Bargatze?
Yeah, Patrick? He's great. He was just recently on SNL.
Oh, he was great on there, wasn't he? And his shtick is he's a clean comic. He's clean. He's not dirty. He's not dirty. Just clean as can be. Clean as can be. He's funny. Anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. Hey guys, have y'all heard? I don't know if I've even told you guys. Second year in a row. Good old Terry. This guy right here. Terry.
Dang. Sorry, Terry. Todd McShay said some of the scouts and people that he text about Carson making a bad decision. One scout wrote back and answered, "Foolish."
Foolish to come out.
Foolish to come out.
Yeah. All right, Pat. I'm trying to brag on myself here. You gonna let me do it?
Go for it.
All right. Second year in a row. I am 2 days into my second dry January.
Okay.
You know what that means?
You did it. I think you did that last year.
Did it last year. Second. That's why I said second year in a row. I'm in my dry. Here's how I want you folks to help me, though. Okay. I'm gonna go 31 days without having one drop of alcohol. Did it last year. Gonna do it again. Dry January. Here's what I'm asking people to do. Everyone out there that you would normally see me out and buy me a drink. Okay, Pat?
Okay.
You with me?
Following.
Zach, you with me back there? All January, to support my dry January, everybody, I'm asking you, when you see me out, you would normally buy me a drink. I'm going to ask to help me. Just give me the cash. Just give me the cash, Patrick. Is that okay? Just give me the cash. That's
kind of
fair,
weird.
Right? Don't buy me a drink like you normally would do in January. Just give me the cash. That's fair, isn't it?
It's kind of weird.
Fair? Why?
It's
weird?
awkward. It's awkward.
Now you're going to buy me a drink anyway. I'm not drinking during January.
But that cash had a designated purpose.
Yeah, to go in my pocket.
No, for a beverage to go into your stomach.
to go in my pocket. Georgia mounting a drive now. They're starting.
Can you do a dry? Can you do a dry Diet Coke or Wary?
I got one right here.
But dry.
Nah. Told you I drink too much water at night. Drink a lot of water at night.
Yeah, sure.
Tons of water.
Aren't you sleeping at night? Drinking one bottle of water is not tons of water, Terry. You
know
sound
what?
like my grandma.
If I think
so
about
much
it,
water. Y'all just don't know. Because when I drink a lot. That's my grandma.
If I think about it, Patrick, I shall take a photo of my nightstand, and you shall see not one, not two, but three fumble. Notre Dame with a big fumble. They forced a big fumble on Georgia driving. A huge hit in the back.
Well right there too.
Yeah, a massive run blitz, and Notre Dame lit up
right on the ball.
Notre Dame lit up the Georgia running back at about the 15, 20-yard line. Big stop for Notre Dame. Boy, this has been a strange game.
I always wonder. You ever wonder this, Terry? Is it just because when a player gets hit on their arm or like their helmet goes right at the ball, like a majority of the time they lose it. Is it because they're not holding it tight enough? Like maybe, or it's just the force of someone's full body going right on your arm. Like it's just going to break up that connection no matter what. Because
you know what, that play looked exactly like the fumble that Texas committed yesterday that went in the air and Ewers caught it in the end zone. It was a safe one, but it could have been a touchdown.
Remember when Travis Hunter saved that one game at the goal line? His head was right on the guys on the ball.
Yeah.
He just popped right on out.
All right, Pat, let's take a break. That's a big stop now because Georgia, their second drive, they took it down the field, passing and running. That was a huge run blitz by Notre Dame, and they drilled Nate Frazier, the freshman, with a big fumble. So Notre Dame keeps Georgia off the scoreboard very late in the first quarter. No score, Notre Dame and Georgia. Let's take a break. He is Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. A lot more college to talk about. And also, breakfast with the Gators is back. I'll explain that a little bit coming up as we will slowly transition in a little basketball. And Patrick, good news, the Pro Bowl roster has been announced. The bad news, if you're looking for Jaguar players, we'll get deep into that on the other side. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young, and you. The Young and Norvelle Show coming to you live from Sliders Oyster Bar.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
As with any tournament type play, the main thing is win and move on. Patrick Young, my co-host, I'm Terry Norvelle. Pat, you played in a ton of basketball tournaments. I think that's the bottom line, is win and move on. Style points and the way it looks doesn't matter. Thank goodness, because at the end of the first quarter, Notre Dame and Georgia, they have been in a rock fight. I tell you, it hasn't been the prettiest quarter of football from an aesthetic point. A ton of penalties, some hard hitting, some ugly plays at time. Very defensive first quarter, though. Notre Dame has the ball.
The back-to-back running into the kickers, that takes it to cake, though.
Yeah, don't see that very often. Notre Dame didn't rough. They ran into the punter a couple times in a row. You don't see that all the time. Georgia has had the most sustained drive of the quarter that just ended the first quarter. They drove it down they were snapping the ball, I think, inside Notre Dame's 20, and a big fumble toward the Notre Dame goal line was recovered by the Irish around the 10, and they've banged it out about 20 yards or so. But, man, Patrick, doesn't matter how you move on, but thank goodness this isn't figure skating or gymnastics where judges vote, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we leave that to gymnastics, because then we argue about how subjective their analysis is.
Yeah, definitely. Patrick,
this is about what you can do, putting the points on the board.
Yeah, it should be a low-scoring game here. Definitely only 3 quarters left, and nobody scored. Georgia threatened a little bit. They were certainly in field goal range, but Notre Dame has made it tough on Georgia's offense, and vice versa. The Dogs have played rough defense, as we knew on the Notre Dame offense. Patrick, we're going to stay with college football, obviously, most of this show, but let's peel back a little bit. You hate to make fun of the Jaguars, but it is what it is. The Pro Bowl team came out today, and in the AFC, the Jaguars, good news, Patrick, they got 2 members on the team. The bad news, it was the Jaguars punter and their long snapper. Ouch, Patrick.
I know Ross made it last year. Wasn't Logan Cook? Wasn't he a Pro Bowler last year as well?
I have no idea, but oh my goodness.
Oh no! And Terry, this is the time to bring up what you said before the season started.
What's that?
About where the team, each of the the main 7 spots would rank at the end of the season compared to what they were at the beginning of the season, because none of their 7 were in the top 10 in anything.
Yeah.
Receivers, like none of that.
Yeah.
And I wonder, we need to see. I know the Jaguars are the last in the league in pass defense. Last.
Wow.
Not 32nd, last. 31st, last.
I can believe that. Now, to the Jaguars' credit, Brian Thomas Jr., VTR Day, should have been on.
Yeah.
He was not included. I don't know if they were saying, well, he's a rookie, he hadn't paid his dues, because I looked at his numbers compared to the 3 or 4 other receivers. Obviously, Jamar Chase in the AFC leads everybody. He's the best receiver in football. He's put up ungodly numbers this year. But Brian Thomas should have gotten in over, I think, the other 3 receivers in the AFC. I looked at his numbers today. I think they were better, and I think he's had a better year.
Who were the other receivers?
Zay Flowers. I knew you'd ask me that. I can't remember. The guy for Judy from Cleveland. Zay Flowers, I think, from Baltimore.
Judy made it? Wow.
Yeah, and Thomas's numbers were better than all those guys. They were better than all those guys.
Nico Collins made it too.
Okay,
despite the injuries,
And let me say this about Nico. Right now, he's a better receiver, but he was injured. He played in about 6. Brian Thomas played in all 16 and put up big numbers. Nico is a great receiver.
You can't pull Nico out, man. He was on a tear.
I know. He missed about 6 games, though.
6 games?
And Zach, I don't know if you have his total games. I want to say it was 10 or 11 games instead of 16.
Did you start bothering Zach about his coach yet?
Not yet. We're going to hold on. We're going to hold. Actually, that's right under here. Another couple of numbers I want to throw out, and I don't know if this was the regime, the Jaguar staff that did it or not, because I can't remember. You guys can help me. Dante Fowler, former Gator, he's first round pick by the Jags, wasn't he?
First round pick.
Yeah, first round pick, Dante Fowler. Things didn't work out. He gets sent packing. You realize Dante Fowler, with 1 game left, he's near the top of the sack leaders. He's got 10 and a half sacks with a game to go. 10 and a half sacks with a game to go.
On his what, 4th team? I think this is his 4th team.
All I know is your sack totals for Hines Allen for the Jaguars, he's got 8. Trayvon Walker has 9.5. Dante Fowler has 10.5 sacks, but he got sent packing here. And I don't remember what staff it was, if this was the Here's one for you. And Patrick, you and I have talked. A lot of people have said this, Patrick, that Trayvon Walker for the Jags and Aiden Hutchinson, they're always going to be bracketed together.
Right, of course.
They were kind of the same player. Who do you take?
Trayvon got lucky. Hutchinson got hurt.
Do you realize Trayvon's got 9.5 sacks? That's a good solid year. 1 game left. Hutchinson's been out for weeks. He's played in 5 games. He had 7.5 sacks in 5 games. How about that? And then he got hurt. I think he may come back. There's talk he may come back as well.
Yeah, I keep hearing that he is a possibility. He's through with a broken leg.
Yeah, broken tibia fibia. But keep in mind that was 3 months ago. The NFL season's long, man. It's a long season, dude. It's a long season. And then if you get into the playoffs, it's a long year, Patrick. You could have 4 months to rehab and come back in the NFC Championship game, Super Bowl. What are you looking at so hard?
I'm trying to find an update on Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay.
I care about the guy.
So
who do you want to? I really would love to see the Lions win it all this year.
That wouldn't hurt my feelings.
That wouldn't hurt my feelings.
New blood in there. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. Lions
be their first time there ever. Love their coach.
Wouldn't hurt my feelings. Lions. I picked the Ravens. They're playing good ball. What was that?
I said it's not the Chiefs again. Finally.
Yeah. Wouldn't hurt my. And you could say kind of the same thing about even though it's going to be all big boys. If Penn State won the national title, Notre Dame hasn't won a national title in a while.
Right.
I know they're all no matter who wins right now this game, it's going to be 4 big blue bloods, right? Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, and either Georgia or Notre Dame. But it wouldn't hurt my feelings if a new team. Big, perfect pass thrown by Gunnar Stockton of completion. Georgia deep now. Smith catches it for the Bulldogs. About a 60-yarder, I would guess, when they mark it off. It was a straight go route.
Dang, that was a perfect pass.
There's a beautiful pass by Stockton on a go route. There is a flag down. I don't think it's part of the pass. I don't know if it's near the line of scrimmage. Let's track the pass.
He was not holding that ball right.
Track the flag. Yeah, he's carrying it strangely.
Oh, that's
but
roughing.
No matter what the
is that
penalty
roughing?
is, and yeah, that's got to be the penalty. Notre Dame hit Gunnar Stockton late. No matter, I was going to say, Patrick, no matter what the penalty, that was a big pass.
That was a great
that thing was right on the money. Right on the money. So Georgia right back in the red zone of Notre Dame as we'll see where they're going to finally mark the football as we're early in the second half. And trying to see if they
he stepped on his foot.
Did they pick up the flag?
Oh,
I'm not sure,
dude, that sucks. Well,
I'm not sure if they picked up the flag. I think you're watching about a split second ahead of me here at Sliders, Patrick. So
I'll pause mine. Tell me when they're about to hike the ball for the next play.
Yeah, Georgia will be snapping now from the Notre Dame 26. So it was a big game. The flag must have been picked up, but Georgia for the second time getting deeper into Notre Dame territory. No score as the Dogs try to run the ball. Patrick Young's with me, Terry Norvelle. Pat, I've spent a lot of time looking up those sack numbers in the NFL with regard to the Jaguars and some other players. I also did it in college.
Okay.
Here's a couple interesting, and I knew this because I watched a game, a Virginia Tech game midway through the season. I don't know if you remember this name from Gainesville. Antoine Powell Ryland. He was a guy coming on defensive end, undersized.
No, I don't remember him.
Made a few plays for Florida a couple of years ago, and I thought he was going to be a really good player. He transferred out last year, and he was an undersized defensive end that was athletic as hell. He's at Virginia Tech now. Antoine Powell Ryland, 16 sacks, third in the nation. Third in the nation. The kid that left Gainesville. And, by the way, Princely, you remember Princely who went to Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Princely, 10.5 sacks who will be playing in a couple hours here in Jacksonville. 10.5 sacks. He's 9th in the nation. So a couple guys that now Florida got after the quarterback plenty good, right? I mean, the Gators, it wasn't like they got these guys leaving the program and they didn't have anybody. They rushed the passer fine. But a couple of ex-Gators.
Princely's good, man. He's projected to be a first rounder.
Yeah, definitely. Georgia will be facing a 4th and 7 now. They haven't done a lot with that long pass completion. I'm not sure. It might be an awkward part of the field here to try a field goal here. No, it looks like they will line up and try about a 41-yard field goal for the Dogs, trying to be the first on the board here.
Peyton
Woodring for Georgia. He's had a good year for the Dogs. Seems like they always have a good kicker. And Georgia's trying to be first on the board here early in the second quarter. Kick is up, and it's going to sneak in. So the Dogs jump ahead on the strength of a long completion to Smith, their wide receiver, a long completion from Stockton to Smith. But Notre Dame does a pretty good stop by the Notre Dame defense right there.
For sure.
Two pretty good stops, considering Georgia was inside the 30 a couple times, and they've only got 3 points.
Yeah, I'm curious. I wonder if that not getting that penalty would have made a difference or not on the Georgia side, if they would have been able to score.
Did you finally find out what happened? I saw a
flag down. One of the Georgia players accidentally, his foot got onto the sideline, the white area, and an official stepped on him. And he didn't fall, but he tripped. And it was some type of sideline interference or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was just a warning, sideline warning.
Well, I think they still take 5 yards back off, or they take anything off.
I'm not sure, Patrick. I'm not sure, but it definitely was not called roughing the passer.
No,
because we thought at first, you and I both thought that might be half the distance to the goal. I thought Georgia might be snapping that thing from the 5-yard line if it was half the distance to the goal after the to the goal line, right? After the long pass. They obviously, if it wasn't roughing the passer, that was borderline. That was close to a
It was
hit,
close.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
He just pushed him in the chest and he just fell back so hard. But I didn't see anything, no hands to the helmet or anything like that.
Yeah. All right, Pat, let's wrap up the first hour. We're going to take a break. Zach Rothrock, calling Zach Rothrock. You don't have to come on, but just listen to this. You got some explaining to do on the other side. Man, I still don't know what the whole total dust-up. I think I've got it down pretty good. This big dust-up between Shane Beamer and Brett Bielema. My goodness, they got mad at each other.
A kerfuffle?
It was a dadgum good kerfuffle is what it was. And I think we've got it, there was kind of a gentleman's agreement broken maybe. I don't know. But, Zach, you're going to help us walk through what happened to get Shane Beamer and Brett Bielema so upset. Bielema and Illinois, they end up getting the win, a hard-fought bowl game. Two teams that grinded it out pretty good. But, my goodness, they're still arguing, I think, on social media. That will kick off hour number 2. We'll track, of course, Georgia leading Notre Dame kind of early in the second quarter, 3-0 Dogs in what's been kind of a grind-out rock fight, but it doesn't matter how you get it done as long as you move on. He is Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. Plenty of ball to talk about on the other side on this beautiful Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show from Sliders Oyster Bar.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
After giving up a field goal to the Georgia Bulldogs, Notre Dame on a march now, really behind the strength of the quarterback draw. The Irish have run a couple of quarterback draws. The second one on this drive that's near the Georgia 25 now, the second one resulted in about a 40-yard gain, I'm guessing, as Notre Dame having their first deep penetration of the ball game. Georgia leading with about 9 minutes left in the first half. Georgia leads Notre Dame 3-0. Kerry Norvelle here on the patio at Sliders. Great climate control. Boy, they've got the plastic clear drop down walls everywhere. The heater's going. They can control this patio. We've had, since I've been here 1 hour, there have been 6 or 7 parties sitting outside. Of course, inside with the inside bar and the oyster bar, rocking and rolling as always at Sliders Oyster Bar. The best seafood, the freshest seafood can always be found right here in Neptune Beach at Sliders Oyster Bar. As on 3rd and 7, a pass play goes nowhere. The Dogs defense stands up and looks like they'll force a field goal attempt by Notre Dame. As Zach, we're going to get you fired up here in a minute. I want you to kind of walk us through as I sum up this first half. Been very, very defensive. Notre Dame and Georgia, the defenses have been the story as the Dogs are lining up for what would be a tying field goal here with, as I said, about 8.5 minutes. This is about a 44-yarder. Kick is up, and it looks like it is going to be good. So we are tied at 3. Not the most beautiful football game you've ever seen, but it's tied at 3 as Marcus Freeman welcomes his team to the sideline. Dogs will be back on offense. Zach, if you can, South Carolina, Illinois, pretty good. We knew this was going to be a pretty good matchup in the bowl game. Kind of a slugfest. We were on the air a lot when this game was going on. Was that Tuesday? Was that game Monday? Yeah, it was Tuesday.
That was a Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday game.
Yeah. And you were working. I was on the air. You were watching the game, I'm sure, intently. Hard-fought game. Illinois wins. Walk us through what happened. I think I've pieced it together after watching and reading. The two coaches went at it. The two sidelines went at it. Was it based off of kind of a trick play that was run by South Carolina? Pick up what happened to get these two coaches, and a player went down, and Bielema was near the South Carolina sideline. Pick it up as best you can what you think happened.
So Illinois was kind of doing the cheesy little thing that Lane Kiffin's team likes to do, where they somehow or another get an injury every time there's a first down. And that obviously ruffles Shane Beamer's feathers. He kind of made it clear that he had issues with that after they played the Ole Miss game. And then they did this there's something I was only kind of mildly aware of, but I didn't really know about this. But apparently there's a thing where coaches will kind of give each other hey, they do like a signal like this, and they say, hey, we're not gonna return this kickback, so don't send your guys, and we're not gonna rough it up, and so no one gets hurt on a kickoff. And apparently Illinois, I thought Arkansas because Brent Bielema was their former coach. Apparently Illinois gave that signal and ran a kickoff back anyway, and then they had a player get injured after South Carolina first down. And Shane Beamer kind of walked up to him and gave him like a pat on the butt, hope you're okay, which kind of indicated that he thought that the injury wasn't legitimate. And not long, like right after he did that, that's when Bielema came over and he kind of taunted Shane Beamer by giving the signal, the we're not going to return the kickoff back signal. And that's when Shane Beamer started losing his mind, going absolutely bonkers. A lot of people were kind of watching that game with the sound off, not really like fully paying attention. So they were just like, why is Shane Beamer all of a sudden losing his mind? And I can understand like why.
Let me ask you something. In that period right there that you just described, did South Carolina take a kickoff and do kind of what on the playground we used to call a spot pass? They took a kickoff and threw it across the field.
Yeah, I think they did one of those like a Beamer ball type play, like a little special teams, like a trickery. Yeah, there was one of those.
Was that near the kerfuffle that happened?
I'm thinking it was probably not long before that. Yeah, it might have been like the drive heading into that.
Here's what I understand that also played into it. And again, I went back and watched some YouTube. I've read a lot about the account. And it has to do with the kickoff.
Right.
From what I understand, South Carolina ran that kind of, we're going to just call it a trick play on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And if you can see me, I'm going to do there's a sign that is used by football teams. The NFL uses it, and so does college. It's not a rule book, okay? But watch what I do with my arms.
Right.
You put your arms, if you're the return guy and you put your arms out like that, that is not in the rule book at all.
Yeah, it's one of those unwritten rules, right?
But it's not a rule at all.
Right.
It is a sign for your return blockers as they're coming back to set up their blocking wall. They are running back toward you. And if you are the return man, you're saying this is going into the end zone. Don't do anything stupid with a late block or an illegal block because we're not even going to run the ball.
Yeah.
We're going to let it hit the end zone.
Yeah, and that was the signal that Bielema sent back. That got Beamer all riled up. Right.
And let me finish. As I understand it, South Carolina, now, to Beamer's credit, he went to the official before the game. And he said, hey, man, we've got a play in on a kickoff where one of my return men is going to give this sign. By the way, this sign is not in the rule book.
Right.
You don't have to do that. There's no rule that says you have to do that or don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But Beamer, when you have a trick play, it's always good to alert the officials and say, hey, here's a play we're going to put in. I want to call it to your attention. We might have our guy give that sign, but still catch the ball and throw a lateral on the other side.
Right.
And they did that. They did that play, as I understand it. As I understand it, that really chapped Brett Bielema because he thought ethically it was not the right thing to do. But to Beamer's credit, this is not in the rule book. This is not, given a T sign is kind of in the rule book. That means timeout.
Yeah.
This is just between you and your players.
Right.
Now, everybody does use that pretty much universal, but there's nothing in the rule book that says if a return guy does that, the ball cannot still be advanced or tried to be advanced. That's what I understand that really chapped him. And let me give a different example. I don't have the baseball rule book in front of me, but I'll say in old time, let's go back.
Yeah, they got those unwritten rules in baseball.
Such as the closest I could think of, if I'm in a baseball game, if I'm a catcher and I give my glove out to the side, that is the universal, you're calling for a pitch out. You may want to intentionally walk this batter, right? And you do. Nowadays, I think they can just say go to first base. But for a million years, you had to throw 4 pitches, and the general stick your arm out. That means I'm going to ask my pitcher to pitch out. To me, a correlation would be a catcher doing that. The pitcher's in his windup, and the catcher jumps back down and under, and the pitcher throws a strike.
Yeah, it's going to be the same deal.
There's not. But to Beamer's credit, as I understand it, he cleared this with the officials, and he did not break a rule. It might have been an unwritten rule, but so I think that's what really ticked off Bielema, and then off they went. Man, they got into it pretty good, didn't they?
Oh yeah, someone had to do something interesting during this bowl season to give people something to talk about. So the Shane Beamer and Bielema went ahead and took that upon themselves to do that. Yeah,
And
I mean
to be
they
fair,
were
it
they were
hasn't
acting
been the
like
most.
they're acting like children. They're being really childish with it. But yeah, I mean that's what it was. Them just both being petty with each other. Them doing
I
like
will
the
say
injuries
this.
and the yeah. What's up?
I will say this, and I hope you're big enough to take some criticism. I know your favorite team, South Carolina, but I don't like talking to people that can't see their own team sometimes in a negative. I've
All
said
I
for a
do is
couple of
criticize
years,
those guys.
the next step that Shane Beamer needs to take is I think he needs to take that next maturation step. He gets too hot-headed too much, and you know who used to do that in his career early. He was like a frat boy a little bit. Was Dabo? Dabo used to be jumping around and hooting and hollering. I think Beamer does need to idle down. He has too many of these situations. He's been doing it too long now. I think and he will with a little more age. I think he'll mature. He's having these massive outbursts too much, if you ask me, for the head football coach.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat, yeah, for sure. And he probably needs to mature. But on the other hand, I kind of like it a little bit. I like him having that reaction more than I liked, like how Ryan Day was when Michigan was planting the flag, and he just kind of seemed clueless and just stand there, just letting chaos swarm around him. I feel like Shane Beamer would have done something unhinged in that moment. He would have, I have no idea what, like it would have been. He wouldn't have just stood there and just been like, "What happened?" And so I kind of like that.
The other thing about Beamer, and what is he in his 4th or 5th year? So he's relatively a new head coach.
Yeah.
The other thing is he's lost his cool to the nth degree so many times. I think sometimes it's losing its fastball. You can't go belligerent 12 times a season and still get the play that you want to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, I would imagine that the guys in the locker room, the players probably kind of feed on that and rally around that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. It's kind of like when a guy uses swear words all the time, they lose their effect. But then, like, if Tony Dungy ever would have used a swear word, it would have been like, "Whoa!" It's like right.
That's a good analogy.
So yeah, I get what you mean by that. Yeah,
it's a little bit of the boy that cried wolf. I mean, if you say, "Hey, I'm in this lake and I'm drowning," well, you've said it 12 times. Oh, he's just kidding around. Yeah. What does that? What did that bowl game, if anything, did it do anything to South Carolina's season? I mean, it was a very, very positive year for the Gamecocks, bowl game or not, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I would imagine they had like a couple of key their running back Sanders sat out and the defensive end Kennard sat out. I mean, everyone had guys sit out. So I mean, it's hard to gauge like how it would have gone at full strength. But yeah, I mean, definitely a positive. I mean, I would have to say that South Carolina and Florida are the two teams with the most momentum heading into next year, at least among the teams that didn't make the playoffs.
I would agree. I'll tell you one thing. We got talking the other day, and I'm not sure if I was just talking with buddies or if I was on the air, but I think it might have been you and I, but just kind of having some fun looking ahead to next season, preseason prognosticating polls.
Mm-hmm.
With the way Alabama finished their last 9 games, with the way I think LSU with Nussmeier coming back, South Carolina had their year. Florida looks like they can't wait to line up and play with new talent coming in.
Mm-hmm.
How about next year's preseason? Am I way off? Georgia 1, probably Tennessee 2, LSU, South Carolina, Florida. I haven't said Alabama yet. That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah, they're going to be far. They're going to be down.
Alabama may be overall, gosh darn, 5-6 preseason SEC. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine their top 25 ranking is going to be in the low teens or maybe the 20s.
How about that? When's the last time that happened?
Before Coach Saban.
Yeah.
Sure.
When's the last time? When is the last time that happened? Hey, this will be talked about a little bit, but I saw this. Now that the Texas-Ohio State game is set, right? That's for next Friday. That's semifinal game Friday, right? Texas, Ohio State. How about this weird scheduling situation? They're going to play back-to-back. They're going to put Texas, and they're going to kind of play back-to-back, particularly the losing team.
Yeah,
the losing. They open up the season in Columbus against each other next year.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. That is interesting.
The winner will have a game in between, but the loser will be playing back-to-back.
Yeah.
Texas, Ohio State play this Friday, a week from tomorrow, and then they open up next season in Columbus.
It happens, yeah. I think it happened in a Super Bowl with, and then week one, but yeah.
I think it did too. How about Texas? The last 2 years, they will have played at Michigan. Remember, they went up and beat Michigan bad early this year, and at Ohio State. They're at Columbus next year. Pretty good schedule.
Yeah, and then they just joined the SEC. They're playing all these big Big Ten schools.
Hey, speaking of, Texas next year, they play at Georgia and at Florida because they had them both at home this year.
Oh, yeah, coming to the Swamp. Yeah.
How about that? I wrote so Texas next year is going to have one of those scheduled. Next year, they're at Ohio State, at Florida, at Georgia, and, of course, they have Tennessee. They got them in Tuscaloosa. They've got that's a tough schedule. Texas has a tough schedule next year.
Yeah, it's probably hard to find an easy one.
Yeah, coming out of the SEC, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. Even if Georgia and Texas make the national championship game, and then obviously one of them would have to win it if they make it, right? I'm going to go ahead and say this. Hasn't been a great bowl season for the SEC.
Oh, no, they're down bad in the non-playoff game and the playoff game, including Tennessee.
They're like 7-5, and they'll end up probably going, but it hasn't. It's been underwhelming.
Yeah, and I think we're probably good. I mean, as the years to come, I think we're going to see that more. I think there's going to be more of a leveling out of the talent across the sport, and I think that's really going to be refreshing and really what it needs. I don't think that these Alabama dynasties where they're winning a championship every other year for 15 years, I don't think we're going to see that again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard, don't you? I think it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. I think that's better.
This. Yeah, definitely. Still tough sledding here for both offenses as, like I said, Notre Dame, after hitting a pretty big pass, about 20, 25 yards, they were forced to punt. Georgia is scuffling around a little bit. I think this is a combination. This is not the smoothest offenses, but really good defenses are going at it. Hey, I teased a minute ago, and I know this is 2 days away, but college basketball, the real season starts Saturday, January 4th. Mm-hmm. Most of your conferences start conference play. The biggest game Saturday, there are two big games Saturday around the nation. They're both in the SEC. The highest ranking is Florida is on the road. The Gators are either 5th or 6th, depending on the poll. Florida this Saturday is at Kentucky. Kentucky's 10th or 11th, depending on the poll. The other big game is Tennessee, Oklahoma. But the big game, Florida at Kentucky this Saturday, 11 a.m. tip, my boy. Breakfast with the Gators is back.
Ooh.
Like, how about that?
That's probably 10 in Kentucky, aren't they? An hour behind?
No, I had to look that up real quick. They're
still Eastern.
Thank goodness. Yeah, they're still. But 11 a.m. tip-off time, and you care for a guess why in the world would Kentucky want to play an 11 a.m. Eastern against Florida? The Gators come in ranked in the top 10. Any guess why?
What's happening? The Wiggles are in town.
Well, the big bad NFL says we're going to play at 4:30 and 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So ESPN is trying to squeeze in Florida in a big game with Kentucky at 11. The other ranked team, Tennessee, number one team in the nation, will play at 1, and they're going to say, get out of the way. The NFL's taking over.
Yeah, smart. I mean, they would get absolutely buried if they didn't do that. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. It makes total sense. But the big bad NFL, they said, we want a doubleheader on Saturday. So, ESPN, if you want to have anything big that day, we'll do it early.
Yeah, figure it out.
Do it. Yeah, figure it out. Another punt here in this ball game. Georgia just punted it back to Notre Dame. 3:09 remaining in the first half. We're all tied up 3 apiece. It's not the prettiest game, but again, Zach, this is like one of those grinded out March Madness games. You got to win it to move on. It doesn't matter. This isn't gymnastics. This is tournament football.
Yeah, you just gotta have one more point than the other team. I do think that the under is probably going to hit in this game at this rate. I mean, it's just going to come down to who gets the key turnover and who can capitalize on it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a break here. Come back. We're starting to wrap things up here on a Thursday. Having a good time watching college ball and talking ball with you on the Young and Norvelle show. We're at Sliders Oyster Bar. We do it every Thursday. Tomorrow, back down at the other end of the beach. Come on down and say hi at Bricks Jacks Beach, our Friday hangout. Patrick Young is making his way to JU. He's calling the JU Lipscomb basketball game tonight, so he's taking off after the first hour. We'll come back and start landing the plane. Zach will join me again for some more topics as we look around, kind of piecing together. A ton of stuff happened since we went off the air on Tuesday. We'll review all of that and preview as Georgia and Notre Dame head to the half. Right now, looks like they're going to make it unless something dramatic happens, tied at 3. Back from Sliders after this timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jacks Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jacks Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jacks Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Notre Dame on a late march here as we are very late in the first half. Notre Dame has just crossed the midfield stripe. They are around the Georgia 40. The game is tied. Georgia and Notre Dame tied at 3, getting very late. And Notre Dame has found something in their game plan. They have run the quarterback draw very effectively. As Riley Leonard has really not hurt Georgia with his arm as much as his legs. Designed quarterback draws, at least 2 of them have popped for a good combined, 40 yards probably, as Notre Dame trying to break the tie with Georgia late in this Sugar Bowl, the final quarterfinal game. Winner will take on Penn State. Welcome back to the Young and Norvelle Show. We're starting to wrap things up here on a beautiful, I guess we're officially in winter now. Winter Thursday here at Sliders, and a lot of parties are enjoying the patio. Don't forget now, it's totally climate controlled. During the cold weather, they just drop these clear plastic walls down, and they've got heaters everywhere. It feels wonderful in here. Of course, during the summer, they just pull them up, and all the fans, and they know people really enjoy dining. There's something about dining outdoors at the beach, and they've got it wired pretty damn good, I'll tell you that, at Sliders Oyster Bar. Notre Dame moving quickly, under a minute, and there's a big sack. Leonard can't get away from a host of Georgia players as the Dogs drop him about the 40-yard line. So right now, that puts Notre Dame in tough field goal position, as it looks like the Irish will exercise a timeout with 56 seconds remaining. Zach, I'm intrigued. I forgot a couple of teams. I'm intrigued what we were talking about. If you've got a second to fire it up. The overall topic we had going to break was, gosh darn, looking ahead, where will Alabama be ranked? Alabama football preseason in the SEC. I forgot to throw in Texas.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Hey, shame on me. Texas and Ole Miss. How about this? Is this out of the realm of possibility? Preseason SEC football. Next year, the poll. Let's just say interchangeable. Georgia 1, Texas 2, or Texas 1, Georgia. Okay, right? Either or, okay? Mm-hmm. Georgia 1, Texas 2. Tennessee brings back Nico, okay? LSU, Nussmeier comes back, 4. South Carolina, 5. Ole Miss, 6. Florida, 7. I haven't said Alabama yet. Is that crazy to think that could happen?
Yeah, I kind of feel like the people that be will have them ahead of that South Carolina, Florida tier somehow or another. Even though I personally would think they would deserve to be lower, but I think that's where they would end up, though. Yeah, I think everyone else you named before that they'd be behind there.
I will say this: with the official SEC poll, which is a true media poll. The media day, I think, will be in Atlanta, but there's normally a ton of Alabama media. More Alabama Crimson Tide media show up than any other faction, and media tends to vote toward their team. But Zach, you get the point I'm making. Alabama they're going to be picked probably lower in the overall SEC because we don't have divisions anymore. Mm-hmm. They're going to be picked lower than a long, long time.
Yeah, got to be the lowest since before the pre-Nick Saban era, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Have to be.
I would not want to follow around Kalen DeBoer on his booster speaking circuit during the offseason. And and I'll tell you one thing, he goes out and wins 9 or 10 next year, he'll be on a hot seat.
It's coming quick. I mean, I think he's already on it. Already.
A bit of it. They got to get some quarterback play. I don't know if it's Ty Simpson who is I don't know if it's Ty Simpson who's on the roster or Alabama's got to get quarterback play. They got to rebuild an offensive line. And, the one thing that really one thing that hurts programs like Alabama when they start going the wrong way is the visual. Now everybody has seen Alabama get beat. And there's something about the bully getting beat up on the playground in front of the whole school. Well, he's not the bully anymore a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think most people kind of view Georgia as that at this point. But it's happened.
Enough people now, enough programs have seen Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Oklahoma beat Alabama. Michigan had a ton of players that didn't play the other day. They beat Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the visual invincibility is as bad as a true punch in the nose, right? People seeing Alabama get beat multiple times, that takes away that, whoa, we can't even line up with these guys.
But
that takes that away.
In sports media, it's kind of in our best interest to root for the best stories. Last week we talked about, where are these quarterbacks going to go? Imagine Quinn Ewers leaves Texas and goes directly to Alabama. I think that would be the most tremendous story possible. Because I don't think they want to move forward. Jalen Milroe might want them, but he's not. They don't want him. It looks like he's going to move on. It looks like Quinn Ewers is going to move on.
I think Patrick said he saw Milroe has announced he's going to the draft on his name.
Yeah.
So
he did a couple hours ago.
Hey, that would be cool because Ewers is in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't lit it up. He has not lit it up. Texas is good. They're a good, well-rounded team, but Ewers hasn't played great. And I'm telling you, Arch Manning is not sitting on the bench another year.
No, I think that their plan, their kind of 3-year plan was for Ewers to light it up and then get drafted in the first round and leave after 2024, let Arch come in 2025. But with the injury, these plans kind of got skewed, and now we kind of are where we are. And so it's going to turn into a game of musical chairs. And
you know who made the tournament? The damn NFL advisory committee made the tournament. When Ewers turns in his name, and if the NFL advisory committee doesn't give a damn about who's going to quarterback Alabama, Texas, they give you a grade.
Right.
Great. What if that comes back and says Ewers, mid-third round? If you're Ewers,
I feel like that's about where he's going to be, and I think he's going to think that he can elevate it to a first round.
Yeah, but if you're Ewers and you're Ewers people, and you get a mid-third round grade, you say, okay, I probably need to go back and play some more college football. But
Absolutely.
Texas isn't going to want you back.
Yeah.
Right? Texas isn't going to want you back. By the way, Notre Dame
right.
Real quick, Notre Dame did make their field goal with under 40 seconds remaining now. The Irish lead Georgia in a slugfest, 6-3, as both teams have been very tough on offense. They haven't moved the ball very well. It's a couple good defenses playing. But, the last thing you want to do if you're Ewers is say, I got to go back to college. What if you lose if you go back to Texas and you get benched? That ain't helping your cause at all.
I think Texas is not an option for him. I think he's outgrown Texas and they're ready to move on.
Yeah, if he plays college ball next year, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, there's a fumble, and Notre Dame has picked up a fumble deep in Georgia territory, about the 12-yard line. Gunnar Stockton was blindsided, and he fumbled. Notre Dame, wow, this could be a big turning point because I do believe, don't quote me, but I think Notre Dame gets the second half kickoff. I think they get the second half kickoff. Notre Dame leading 6-3 with under 30 seconds remaining, and they should be set up on the Georgia 13-yard line. My goodness, the left tackle was just beat real bad for Georgia. And Notre Dame, man, taking the fight to the Dogs right now, trying to make a late run and get some distance. 2 turnovers for Georgia, none for Notre Dame, and that is the difference in the half. Go ahead, Zach.
What I was going to say, something I noticed on this play is I'm not 100% sure what his assignment was, but Trevor Etienne was the running back in the backfield that could have potentially picked up that edge rusher. Trevor Etienne, notably one of the worst blocking running backs that we've seen in a while. So yeah, it could potentially be that he was supposed to pick that up. I don't know. He might have went out for a pass. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that was. I mean, if they put this in the end zone, it's gonna be tough.
And they just did. Quick slant pass.
Okay, I'm a little behind.
First play, you've got Riley Leonard hitting a quick slant pass, touchdown. Notre Dame, the Dogs with an extra point. Looks like with 27 seconds remaining in the half, they will take a 10-point lead into the locker room. And to add insult, Georgia jumped up 3-0. So Notre Dame's looking to have scored 13 in a row pending this extra point. There's Kirby Smart talking to Gunnar Stockton. Not a whole lot he could do on that fumble, though. That was a blindside, just pummeling, as you said, with a back missing.
Once the ball had been snapped, there was not much he could do. But I feel like that's the type of play that a veteran like a Carson Beck, he might have been able to see that pressure coming and been able to check into something different or manipulate it. But yeah, I mean, once the ball is snapped and that guy's coming with the edge to your blindside, no, there's nothing you can do. And then he karate chops the ball out. That was just a good play by Notre Dame.
Yeah. Notre Dame has the first game has done offensively. They found something in film work because Riley Leonard, he's run, I know, at least 3 called in the huddle quarterback draws. They found something in the middle, and it's helped Notre Dame. He's run 3 times for probably 50 yards on the total. I think he had about a 40-yard gain on one of them, a 10 and a 5. He's had they found something in the middle of that Georgia defense. Notre Dame, by the way, has scored 10 points in the last 11 seconds in this ball game. 13-3. Zach, that happened just like that.
Yeah. Life comes at you fast when you give up the sack fumble. And I just looked it up. So Riley Leonard currently has 10 carries for 60 yards.
How about that?
I would imagine most of that has come in the second quarter.
Yeah, and at least 3 or 4 of those were called, not scrambled, called quarterback draw. They found something in the middle. Zach, let's keep this segment a little bit longer, and then we'll wrap things up on the other side. I wanted to get your thoughts. I don't know if you heard my dissertation. I haven't been at all a favor of the training wheels that college football gives to the group of 5. I don't think they should have a guaranteed spot in. I think it's terrible. Those spots are too valuable. With that said, Boise State got in, and they really didn't compete. I mean, you saw the game. Penn State just beat them up pretty bad. Didn't really compete. Now, I don't know if people have thought this through. With that in place, the group of 5 has to get a spot in, right? A team in. Do you really think the group? Do you think the group of 5, starting next year? I don't think they're going to put any team anywhere near as good as this Boise team with a legitimate Heisman contender, and that team didn't compete. Are we just wasting spots? I hate that.
I mean, it definitely more or less feels like it, yeah. Once they expand to 16, it'll feel less like they're wasting a spot because there'll be more additional spots. But yeah, with the current format, I think that this scenario that played out with Boise State, I think that scenario is going to play out more often than not.
Yeah.
And I think the team will be outmatched.
Are you going to be jacked if next year, round 1, Michigan is playing Memphis or Tulane? Because I'm going to go, well, wait a minute. Boise was probably the best group of 5 team you're ever going to pull, right? I mean, are they going to be – is anybody better than Boise coming out of that group?
It's going to be hard to find one with a legitimate Heisman candidate like that, for sure. It's going to be tough.
And you're going to go, tell me again, why is Memphis or Tulane taking a spot? Boise couldn't compete. And, I mean, Boise was pretty good, but they weren't on that level. Penn State just toyed with them, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Once they kicked off and they started playing the game, it became pretty clear who was going to win. And, yeah, that probably is a scenario that's going to play out more often than not.
Yeah. We're going to go to break here, come back, and start wrapping up. I'll tell you one thing. Notre Dame just went sky high into the locker room. Their fans really, really are jacked. The Notre Dame team. Notre Dame has not only matched Georgia for physicality, I mean, they may have been slightly more physical in this first half. And, that's what Georgia was hanging their hat on. Georgia, they thought we got to keep our young quarterback in the game. But Notre Dame, tip of the hat, they have really been physical. Kirby and the boys, they got some work to do. Zach, they're down 10 at the half with their backup quarterback in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not where you want to be, and it is weird to see them getting out physicaled by Notre Dame like this.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would have
seen a lot.
Yeah, I would have imagined if a team like Georgia were getting beat by a team like Notre Dame, I would think it would be kind of like a high-flying, passing attack sort of thing, but no, it's been the opposite of that.
Yeah, this has not been a pretty sexy game like you just described. This has been a rock fight.
Right.
And Notre Dame, if this was Notre Dame has landed a few more power punches if this was a boxing match than Georgia, and I didn't see that coming. I did not.
Yeah, the sack fumble was the biggest play. I mean, that could end up being the play of the game for sure.
Yeah. I will tell you this from a selfish standpoint. How cool is this? We're banging out our show. We love our show here at Sliders Oyster Bar. We'll be back on the air 4 to 6 tomorrow down at Bricks Jack's Beach. I'll get off the air here in a few minutes, wrap up the gear. About time we're getting off the air. The second half, they're kicking off. And then we've got the Gator Bowl game afterwards. The Gator Bowl game. I'm going to watch the hell out of the Gator Bowl game.
Yeah, what a day. Yeah, yeah. I'll check it out.
Duke, I don't think Duke's starting quarterback is playing, which is a bummer. I think he portaled out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to it. I shouldn't say this because obviously we broadcast through Action News Jacks, Action Sports Jacks. I'm not the biggest local news guy going. Maybe you watch more local news, just the way my schedule works. I'm just not around or watching Now, where I'm going, Zach, I haven't seen a lot of Lane Kiffin in and around town and in media. Has he been out there? I just don't watch local news that much because I thought I'd see and hear more Lane Kiffin with Ole Miss being in town.
No, I feel like I haven't seen much of him. I saw that he took a picture with Tom Coughlin earlier. That's about the most of I've seen.
But has he been quiet? Because I thought when they named Ole Miss, I go, man, this is going to be fun because Kiffin finds cameras and microphones find Kiffin. But has it been kind of quiet? I think it's been kind of quiet on the Kiffin front.
Yeah, I haven't seen him say anything ever since he made that comment about how terrible the matchups were in the playoffs. His little snarky remark about that. That's about the last thing I've seen. He tweeted out good luck to the Georgia Bulldogs before their game started, so maybe he sneakily cursed them when he did that. He's been relatively quiet. Maybe he's just focused on the game.
I guess so. I'm looking forward to that game. Get in, kind of cold outside. I'll get a little heater going. Watch me some Ole Miss Duke, and then so we've got next Thursday, Penn State will play the winner of this game, Notre Dame or Georgia, and then next Friday, Texas versus Ohio State. So we're a half away from having the college football Final Four set. It'll unfold here in a little bit from the Sugar Bowl, where Notre Dame leads Georgia 13-3. We'll take one final segment on the other side. Zach Rothrock, Terry Norvelle, and you on a Thursday from Sliders Oyster Bar.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Halfway home, and Notre Dame trying to punch the 4th and final ticket into the college football Final Four. There is a second half to play, but the Irish lead Georgia 13-3, and they've been the slightly more physical team. Very defensive game, kind of ugly at times, a lot of penalties. Georgia's got some work to do. As we welcome you back, Terry Norvelle here, Zach Rothrock. Zach, obviously you've heard me as you're producing the show. You've heard me. Gosh darn, right now I'm wrong. I'm not going to blame Gunnar Stockton, but I didn't think Georgia would really suffer without having Beck. Now, I don't know if the Georgia offensive line, running game has helped Gunnar Stockton a lot, but right now, boy, not a lot of answers for the Dogs in terms of what they're trying to do now. You wonder what kind of tweaks Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, will have. Kirby and his defense, Kirby Smart and his defense, they've really done a pretty good job on Notre Dame. Notre Dame got the extremely short field touchdown. The only touchdown of the half was really on the Georgia offense. So defensively, the Dogs are playing well enough. They need to shore up the quarterback draw, but it's going to come down to offense. Where is Georgia going to find either traditional offense or help their offense, be that a turnover created by their defense, be it special teams. But right now, turnovers 2 by the Dogs, none by Notre Dame, and you wonder if that doesn't start evening out. Can Georgia come back? So there you have it. You got to ride Gunnar Stockton. I mean, I don't know if he's not playing bad. He's not playing good. He's just kind of there because Georgia hasn't had a whole lot going on. You know, I think we were 1 quarter into this game, and Notre Dame only had 7 offensive snaps. And then a couple of late turnovers. That big turnover by Georgia is really the difference, certainly the difference in the half. So right now, if this holds, your Final Four, with all the talk and all the hand-wringing, it doesn't matter which way this game goes, but if it goes as the first half, Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame would be your Final Four. I don't know this off the top for sure. I thought I read somewhere that this would be the 4th meeting between Notre Dame and Georgia all time. And I think Georgia's won all 3. They won the national championship game in the 81 Sugar Bowl, the Herschel Walker Sugar Bowl. And then didn't Georgia sweep Notre Dame that home-and-home series? They played in South Bend where Georgia had so many fans. I think Georgia swept that home-and-home series, and they beat them the next year in Athens. So Notre Dame definitely looking for a recent win, if not a first ever win over Georgia. And this would be a big, big one if it holds, no doubt about it. That'll just about wrap it up. We had a lot to cover today. Alabama was in the news. Boy, you wonder how this offseason is going to play out. Kalen DeBoer is not going to lose his job, but man, it's hot after one season in Tuscaloosa, T-Town. Texas ASU. Texas is a maddening team. We talked a lot about that ball game and how fun it was. Scooby-Doo got going, didn't he? I call him Scooby-Doo. What a second half. Ohio State played like most people thought they would play all year. Boy, I don't think anybody beats. I'm not sure the Kansas City Chiefs beat Ohio State yesterday the way they were playing. They had it all going. Boise was outmatched. Those are the main storylines since we were on the air back Tuesday when we signed off 6 p.m. on Tuesday. This game, a half to go. They're probably about 5 minutes away from kicking off the second half. And then don't forget, this ball game will lead right into the Gator Bowl game. And I hope they have a nice lead-in audience. They deserve it. Gator Bowl game has been pushed back a few minutes due to the tragedy and the moving of this Georgia-Notre Dame game. So hopefully I'm going to get home and settle in and watch the Gator Bowl. I hope it's a good game. Look forward to that. Hope Jacksonville puts on a good show. All right, that'll just about wrap it up as we get out of here. A quick reminder, if you're just tuning in, halftime Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame. I don't want to say they've dominated, but Notre Dame has carved out a 10-point lead at the half, 13-3. I think Notre Dame gets the second half kickoff as well, so a big drive potentially for the Irish as they look to add to a 10-point halftime lead over Georgia. That'll do it. I want to thank everybody, Patrick Young, and, of course, Zach Rothrock, and you folks for watching. I'm Terry Norvelle. We'll get together tomorrow, Friday, from Bricks Jack's Beach at 4 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of the game, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%. You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since